All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rakak Wadash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders, Great Millstone, who teach very well. While I learned this truth from and salutation out there to the hopeful lit, who continue to push this word in all truth, faith, and sincerity. And also, Shalom to all the men, women, and children who sincerely believe upon the words of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua. And today, just basically getting on Israelites, man, because the regular Israelite don't have to come in just of dark skin and woolly hair, even though that's the look of the Judites or whatever, but at the same time, Israel actually come in many colors. It tells us that in the book of Jeremiah, the 12th chapter, how Israel is a speckled bird. And Yahweh Shai, he's not a plain power or a power just did with one way or this way. No, our Lord, he's diverse, man. So instead of having just black only Israelites for the people who are ignorant unto the things that's concerning prophecy, not knowing that it was prophecy for us to be scattered. That's why certain Israelites, they look like so-called white people. It's certain called Israelites, they look like Indians. And it's so-called Israelites, they look like Chinese people, man. Even though it tells us that with Samuel, when he came to see David, the Lord told Samuel, look like on his not on his height or his stature, for the Lord seeth not as man seeth, man. You can't have a carnal outlook when you judge somebody to be Israel. Matter of fact, before I continue on this, I have a video queued up. But let's start off right here in the book of Romans, the 8th chapter, Romans 8, and we're going to start at verse 16. The Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are children of the Most High. We are Yasharala, man. Princes of the power, man. And it says, our spirit beareth witness with that. The Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. Now, real quick, let's go into the word bear witness. To bear witness, be joint witnesses. Going down right here, evidence, testify, bear witness, because again, once you see somebody move or dance, play basketball, or even how the way they walk, you could tell if they're Israel or not, man. Let's go right here. Bear witness, right here to let's go down to the Strongs. It says Strong's definitions to be a witness, testify, charge, give evidence, because it's evidence that they are Israel. Now, real quick, I have a video right here. And right here, Jake looked like he dressed like a guy from New York. Where did who get this style from? 9 times out of 10, they live in the hood, in the slums. And right there, you don't understand what he's saying, but he's flowing, man. And this Jake out here doing this. This is why our spirit bear witness with their spirit, because even though we don't know these guys personally, how much you invent the lifestyles and the things they go through, they have to suffer, man. And the reason why, because they are of the nation of Israel. It don't matter if you black or white, like Michael Jackson say. Hey, it just matters if your line goes back into Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So let's get this down in Deuteronomy 28. We're going to jump down to verse 65. It says, matter of fact, 66, Salakia. Matter of fact, Salakia, I can. Yep, verse 64, Salakia. Deuteronomy 28 and 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even to the other. So we're scattered throughout the whole world, man. You know, that's over there in India. Now here go one
50 took 9.
Yankee,
Yeah. Yeah.
一人じゃ寂しいし電話来たりかけ直した後すぐたち俺たち何チーム友達
Yeah.
関西関東
Hey, he
西
says it.
If that's not Jake, then who that is, man?
東に何チーム友達チーム
And right there, that just shows you that we're scattered everywhere from India, from China, Japan, America, North America, South America, Canada. Israel is all over the world. That's a part of prophecy to be fulfilled. Let's read this again. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy father have known, even wood or stone. And the reason why these people don't know they're Israelites, because they grew up in this society. They grew up thinking themselves to be a Moabite. They grew up believing in Hinduism and things like that. Like we grew up believing in Christianity. But now we are at the time when Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua is going to gather his select out of the midst of all these nations. Matter of fact, let's go right here to Isaiah 11. Because again, how can this prophecy be fulfilled if everybody's black? How can this prophecy be fulfilled if everybody's just going to be, full of lack of better words, afros and beards? You know? Let's get this real quick, because even you look at the northern tribe, they beard don't, a lot of times they beard don't grow in fully, you know. Let's get this real quick. This Deuteronomy, it's like Isaiah 10, Isaiah 11, and I'm gonna start at verse 10. It says, and in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. Now that root of Jesse is actually talking about Yahweh Shai, man. Again, starting off with Yahweh Shai, King Solomon, King David, you know, that line of righteousness. But it says, to it shall the Gentiles seek. Because it's not like you're physical Gentiles. No, you're in the Gentile state of mind because you was raised in that culture. It says, in his rest shall be glorious. Because, hey, we've been suffering throughout the whole planet Earth. But with this truth, this is how we find rest, a peace of mind. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord. It's like in that day that the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. So the Lord, he's going to go around everywhere to gather his children, man. Yasharallah. And not just any other Yasharallah. No. Yasharallah, the princess of the power, who's ultimately going to come back and return into their power, man. They're going to drop away those heathen ways, and they're going to cleave into the ways of the Lord. And he shall set an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcast of Israel, and gather the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Right there. Because again, Judah, Israel, Ephraim, Manasseh, Issachar, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, and the rest of them, ultimately, those, they are scattered. We are scattered throughout the whole planet Earth, you know? And it's a sign to show that our impact is affecting the planet Earth. Because why is hip-hop over there? And why they sing hip-hop? And look, not time, not to lie, they kind of good at it, man. Why? Because they are the salt of the earth. It tells us that in the book of Matthew, the 5th chapter, man. Ye are the salt of the earth, man. And we are, you know? Because if we're not the salt, if we're not the ones that bring flavor unto the planet Earth, then who will? It's not Moab, you know? A lot of these Moab, how they get their fame is, eating everything they see in sight. Or even you could say, what about Esau? Ain't Esau the salt of the earth? No, because Esau, he actually is a culture vulture. He steals everything from us and from these other nations, even the God that he worshiped, man. He mixed up all these gods from Egypt and Babylon and Greece and mixed them together. showing you this place is full of confusion. So Esau, he's not the salt of the earth. So the only person he points to is the nation of Israel, the black Latinos, the Native Americans, and the ones that are scattered abroad. Matthew 5:13, ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt have lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is henceforth good for nothing but to be cast out and to be trodden underfoot of men, right there, because it shows you that salt is also talking about this truth. Because with you not having this truth, with you not having this understanding, ultimately you're in a vain mindset, you know? So let's go right here real quick. We're going to end it off right here in the book of Deuteronomy 4, and I'm going to jump down to verse 5. It says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even the Lord Yahweh Shema my power commanded me that ye should do so in the land whether ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them. And this is the reason why we were scattered, because we didn't keep the laws. But hey, this righteous way is going to ultimately be installed throughout the planet Earth. Once again, it's actually going to be installed in us, man, embedded in our inward parts. It says, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations. Yes, this will set us apart, man. This truth, this knowledge, this understanding. Because don't be surprised once you start seeing these people who might look like other nations claim to be Israel. Not too long ago, I think it was some brothers in Taiwan that was calling upon the names of Yahweh Shai. I think it was either Taiwan or South America. It says, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is wise and an understanding people. And why are we a great nation and wise and understanding people? Because we have the truth. We have Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai on our side. So we're set apart. For that nation is there so great who have the most high so nigh unto him. Yes, we close unto the Lord. That's why ultimately we be the examples of the bottom. Because the Lord has made us the example of the bottom in this lifetime, but he also is going to make us an example of what to be on top on the next lifetime. But even we're on the bottom right now, it still shows signs that we are Yasharabah. Jake be fucked up and they still praise the Lord. You know, Jake be fucked up and they still, have faith in a higher power, man. You know, a lot of people got a zeal, not according to knowledge, but the Lord, he's going to give that knowledge into his elect, man. Let's continue on. It says, for what nation is there so great who hath the most high so nigh to himself as the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai? Our power is in all things we call upon him. And what nation is there so great that hath statutes and judgments so righteousness as all this law which I set before you this day? So with this truth is ultimately how we get closer to the Lord. With this truth is ultimately how we get back in line. But without this truth, we get scattered. You know, without this truth, that's why it's a thing is called scattered brain. Instead of you worshiping one power, you're worshiping Buddha or Shiva or some crazy shit like that. But the Lord, he's going to do away with all these vain gods and set up himself, which is the true power of the nation of Israel. Let's continue on. Only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen. And ultimately, the ones that scatter, they have forgotten those things. Why? Because through the process of time, Jake, having sex with heathen women and basically having Israelite babies growing up in the heathen system, they're going to forget about that way of righteousness. They're going to forget about their old path. But we know what it says in Jeremiah, the 6th chapter, return into their old path so you can find rest for your souls. So the Lord have designated certain people who look like other nations but are Israelites. He designated them to return, man, and to remember those things that they sing, man. It says, lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them my sons and thy sons' sons. And again, that process is being restarted right now, man. You know, starting off with Elder Abba Bivens on down to the brothers here at Great Millstone, man. It tells us that to teach a child in the way that he shall go, and he shall not depart from it. So once you teach the child the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai, he's not going to depart from it when he grow up, man. He's going to teach to his son on down and on down. But also with the ways of Hinduism. They father grew, they mother probably grew up in it. The father was gone out the house or whatever, and now they started believing in that, man. But again, it just shows us that we are the children of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, and Esau know that we are the children of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. That's why, ultimately, he wants us to keep us separated from our power so he can, conquer us. Let's get this in the book of Judah real quick, man. Because Esau know the scriptures too. Esau know who we are, even in the midst of these dispersed areas. Let's get this in the book of Judah 5. Judah 5, and I'm going to start at verse 20. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 19. Matter of fact, Salah. Let's start at verse 17. It says, and while as they sin not before their power, they prosper. So once we didn't sin against Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, we prosper, man. It was no such thing as the northern kingdom versus the southern kingdom. It was no such thing as no evil eye against his brother, man. Because why? We was righteous in the eyes of the Lord. Because why? We was going in the right way. It says they prospered because the power that hateth iniquity was with them. But when they departed the way which he appointed them, the law, statutes, and commandments, and ultimately the ways of Yahweh Shai, man, is bigger than the law, statutes, and commandments. It says they were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs, and the temple of their power was cast to the ground, and their cities was taken by the enemies. Yes. So when we was separated from our power, we was actually here for the dogs, man. The nations, they can overtake us, and ultimately they can lead you into the ways of the heathen instead of leading you into the ways of life, man. Continuing on though, it says, and while as they sin not before their power, it's like, my bad. It says, but when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore. Yet it's Judah 5 and 18, and led captive to a land that they're not theirs, that was not theirs, and the temple of their power was cast to the ground, and the cities were taken by the enemies. But now are they returned to their power, and this is the process that we are in right now. We're returning to the Lord, and are come up from the places where they were scattered, yes, from these different nations, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was destined. Yes, we are building up that rulership, that house of David, that house of Yasharallah is being rebuilt in the midst of these wicked heathens, man. It says, now therefore, my Lord and governor, if there be no error in this people, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be to their ruin. And let us go up, and we shall overcome them. And that's how we became overcome. That's how we became scattered. That's how we became confused in the ways of life, because the heathen had us under their thumb. But let's continue on. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, this talking about the elect, the remnant, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their power before them, and we become a reproach before the world. So Esau know, as soon as we return to our power, as soon as Jake start calling upon the Lord, whether they look like a Chinese man or whether they look like a so-called white man, once he start calling upon the true names of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, Esau knows that that's the end of his kingdom, or the end of his rulership, and ultimately the end of you having your foot on the nation of Israel's neck. So yeah, I pray this video is edifying. I want to say, call Halayim Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostle and elders, great millstone. Inshallah.